If your Hermes sales assistant out of the blue messaged you and said, I have a special blue box item for you, what is the item that you would be secretly wishing for? Today we're going to chat about some of the blue box items that Hermes does make, and we will be discussing sort of a little bit more detail about these items because often they are just so rare and they're so highly coveted that we put them in that box in our mind of, look, it couldn't ever possibly be me. But it is nice to dream sometimes, right? That one day we might be able to attain the status of being offered one of these special bags. So what is a blue box item? They don't just always cover bags. Blue box items are really highly unique variations on a familiar theme that Hermes does, and it cements your position as an absolute VIP. It means that you have collected quite a few of the regular classics already, and you've already proven yourself to be a customer that is a long-term customer that is interested in a variety of categories, and you're not there just for the regular Birkins and Kellys. And they add a whole extra layer of depth and interest into the regular range, and they're meant to target the enthusiast, the person that really does want to collect these items and loves Hermes for all of the abilities they have in creating very, very unique pieces. The reason they're called an Hermes blue box is not because the exterior of the box is blue, but because when you open it up, rather than having the internal portion of the box being in white, it will be in blue, and it's meant to sort of elevate and differentiate from the experience of a regular unboxing. And these items, as I said, will either have extra embellishments or they'll modify the design, and they may even add new materials or alter the existing or add materials on to make it a very, very different piece to what it was before. So today I'll be discussing bags, but there's recently been a blue box item release that wasn't actually a bag, and that is a charm made with some very special leather and two different color variations. This is called the Bijou de Birkin, and it is a beautiful, beautiful piece that I would love to see in real life, and hopefully it may land in my collection in the future. We'll be discussing a few items in the blue box category. There are so many. In fact, the more deep diving that I did into this, it really, if anything, and if it's even possible, made me desire even more of these bags. And blue box items are really interesting because when you do start as a Hermes collector, all you want is the classics because those are the ones that you see all the time, right? But I can understand that if you've been into Hermes stores and you've collected these classic bags, you do then sort of get this yearning for something different, for something extra. And this really does tick the boxes for those people that want to venture into something a little bit different. For a luxury house that does seem fairly conservative and reserved in most of their ready-to-wear and most of their other designs, it's so interesting to see how Hermes can absolutely let go and go a little bit nuts when they get the freedom to do so in their blue box items. If you have seen the tartan Constance, this is printed on leather in like a pink bubblegum and vert moyen color. I mean, who would have thought of combining those two? There is a blue version as well. The fringe, I mean, that's an absolute hobo hippie sort of style. The rainbows, the dancing flower Constance, Hermes does have it in them deep down to truly let go and have fun and be free. And so I can see that, look, it must be so hard for them to try and rein things in and try and keep things conservative, which is really what their clientele mainly asks for. But it is nice that if you do have that free spirit in you, that you could let go and go loose on one of these blue box items. So let's start with the one that everybody knows of. It is the Birkin Faubourg, released in 2019, all of them in a 20 centimeter size. These are in homage to the flagship store, 24 Rue de Faubourg, Saint Honoré, and it is meant to picture the windows that are in this particular store. And it did start off originally with just the day and night versions, and then diversified out to become the midnight, snow and the rainy day versions. Now these are so instantly recognizable for their art-shaped windows, having the 3D awning in leather flaps, and they do look like the windows of the store that occur at different moments of the year, whether it's right in the middle of the night at midnight or on a very snowy day. It's very clever how they have mimicked the clochette over the keys to be an Hermes shopping bag to make it just this really recognizable item that so many people love and adore. They are all in the Celia style, and they do mix some exotic and regular leathers. And this fact really does make it so interesting because all of the different leathers have a different sort of way that they pull when they are stitched. And so in order for the artisan to really bring those leathers together and make it a homogenized and unified unit really is a testament to the level of skill that they do have in making these. And interesting, when you look up close at these Birken Faubourgs, you can see the intricate detail that occurs when they're making it and the attention to detail. You can see that every window is symmetrical and identical. The scales on the handle begin larger and more spread apart at the top, and then they become narrow and smaller as you get to the base of the handle. And you can see that Sangle has to line up exactly with the window edge. There is no room for chance when you are making one of these bags because there are so many straight lines in this particular piece. You really have to make sure everything is parallel and every item is meticulously measured to ensure that it does line up perfectly. So I'm going to stop for a moment here and unbox this item for you. And it doesn't have a ribbon on it because I had unboxed it in order to take it overseas with me, but didn't end up using it. There just wasn't really the chance to. So I was talking about how the Hermes blue box items do normally have a blue interior. This doesn't. It has the white interior. And you can see there are 2 dust bags in here. So for those of you that will realize very quickly, it is a pair of shoes. And the pair of shoes that I do have are the Neo boots. Now, these Neo boots were meant to travel with me and be my comfy dress shoes, but I just never really had the chance to use them. They have the iconic Kelly buckle on them here, and I just love how it's been protected with this leather strip here as well. And you do find it a little bit more comfortable when you're taking this clasp off when you're popping it on. I haven't actually ever tried just slipping my foot in the inside there, but I would say it probably wouldn't be great for stretching the leather. And these are surprisingly comfortable. I have found that with Hermes, I do generally need to size up to make sure that I get a good use out of them in the long term. But with most leathers, I think what people don't tell you about buying leather shoes, real leather shoes, is that real leather shoes are never comfortable to begin with at the start. They look gorgeous, they will last you much longer than all of the other synthetic leathers that you've been wearing in your other shoes. But when you first wear them, they are really stiff, they are horrible, and they hurt. But if you can wear them around the house a little bit, if you can use thick socks when you're wearing them, once they do develop that suppleness, then oh my goodness, they are an absolute dream. And I had to learn that the hard way with some of the other real leather shoes I bought, because in my previous shops, I had always just been buying sort of synthetic leathers, and those ones, you know, they're supple to start off with. They've been engineered to create that softness, but then they wear out really quickly, and they're gone in 6 to 12 months. They've died. And these ones are really meant to be pieces that you can wear well into the future. But for that, you've got to get past this really painful stage in the beginning. They feel like hell to begin with. So that's just for all of you that are venturing into real leather shoes, something for you to keep in mind for the future. And it does always help to size up a little bit, I think, because that will also be a little bit more forgiving on your feet too. But aren't these fab? Let's head back to blue box items and let's talk about the picnic. The picnic bag is meant to be a whimsical, fantastical spin on the epitome of summer and frolicking in the grass. There is absolutely no functionality to this piece. It is a heavy piece, but my goodness, it is absolutely gorgeous. And my recent trip to Japan when I tried one of these pieces on, really cemented this in as a piece that I would adore. It is crafted from leather and natural osier wicker, and it is such a technically complex piece to make because you actually need two artisans to make this. One, you need a complete expert in leather crafting, and then you also need another expert in wicker weaving, and to combine those two completely different materials together turns it into a textural masterpiece, and each bag takes 10 hours to make. Now, like many fabulous pieces in the Hermes collection, this was spearheaded and created by Jean-Paul Gaultier, and I really miss his presence at Hermes. Like most innovative pieces in the Hermes collection, Jean-Paul Gaultier was the one that spearheaded this and created it in 2011, starting off with a Kelly in the size 35. So can you believe how heavy this thing must have been? Completely impractical, but really a stunner piece to really bring out, and really would have cemented this piece as one that is just meant to be taken out for fun. It's not meant to go to the shops with you. It's not meant to do daily errands with you. It is a piece that's meant to be brought out as a showstopper and just to literally go for picnics with. And later on, they did release this in mini Kelly sizes and in Birkins. In the mini Kellys, you can find it now in around 7 colors. They have Fauve Bohemia, White, Vert Verone, Rouge de Coeur, Jaune de Naples, Bleu de Nord, and Bleu de Brume. So quite a variety of different colors happening there, and mini Kellys are in the most demand. I can understand that. One, because of course, mini Kellys in general are in demand at the moment, but of course, with the weight of the wicker, you really want to have maximum visual impact, but not be lugging around this thing that is so cumbersome too. And the mini Kelly really does tick the boxes of having that wicker mixed with the leather, but then you're not hauling this huge thing around all the time. But then there was the Birkin, which is actually a fairly new creation, the Picnic Birkin, and that came about in 2021. The most prized at the moment seems to be the coloured ones with swift leather and two-tone wicker. And the patience and skill required to make them is just exceptional. If you look at the sides of these pieces, how the leather has had to be weaved in through the wicker. And then if you just think of the general way that you have to maintain and upkeep these bags and the possibility of deterioration of the wicker over time, this is one that would probably need to go to the spa fairly regularly if you saw little dings in it, and you'd really want to take it out to a place where you could make sure that you were watching it at all angles. But I think that all of those things would be absolutely worth it to have such a fabulous piece in your collection as this. And this one really does stand out to me as truly a pinnacle of getting to the top. Because look at after they started doing it, Louis Vuitton, Loewe, all of these other brands followed suit and then have created their own sort of wicker and raffia design sort of bags. Let's chat about the Kelly Disorder bag. Now there is a Birkin Disorder which is much lesser known than his big sister, Kelly Disorder. And this is a play on geometry and symmetry. It's only made in the Cellier style and was interestingly debuted not that long ago in 2022. It has a hip and cool and modern vibe. It is double-sided, and interestingly, unlike its regular version, it has an external pocket, which some people have found really, really handy because sometimes these Cellier styles, they can be difficult to access the main pocket due to the stiffness of the leather. And so having an external pocket where you can put little trinkets or little bits and pieces or your wallet in can be quite handy. And each Kelly clasp sits at a diagonal tilted angle, which gives it this like lopsided sort of look. It is 20 centimeters long at the base and then goes up to 16 centimeters to the top. And even the base is asymmetrical. I didn't actually realize this. It is narrower on one side of the bag compared to the other. It's been created so that you can wear it as a shoulder bag. And so unlike the regular Kelly bag that has the longer strap, you can't really get away with wearing it on a crossbody sort of style because it will just sit way too high up on your chest. And in keeping with this very modern aesthetic, it doesn't have any locks or keys.
So this one for me is a little bit of a tricky one. I can see where they're going there, and I have to applaud them for going with something that is out of the norm. I can even see how this would have come across in the board meeting when they were introducing it. But I think that for me, it's a bit of a hard no because it's just too asymmetrical. I just cannot get over, I can't tell which side of the bag is the front. I don't think you're supposed to, but it's just way too weird for my brain to look at. And for me, that would be a hard no if I had been offered this. But I can understand, of course, for the huge Kelly enthusiasts out there, ticking the boxes, having all the Kellys and having something that's a blue box, there is obviously a great appeal for this bag. I love that many people can rock this bag and get so much joy out of it. Last of all, let's talk about the cloutée. The word cloutée literally translates to studded in French, and it debuted in 2023. And it started off as a Constance and a mini Kelly version, and it has this rock, punk, cool aesthetic. It has these little circular palladium studs, and they're placed by hand into the leather. And really, really fascinating for me, and I love how Hermes does this, is the mini Kelly has 24 palladium studs at the base of it. And this is to create homage to the address, 24 Rue de Faubourg Saint-Honoré, which is their flagship store in Paris. And I love details like this, I really do. So please, Hermes, keep doing amazing things like that as you have been for so many years. I love the story behind the bags. And they do have a clutch that's now included. These cloutées are cool. I get what they're trying to do. This is trying to create a more rock, harder edge on these classic bags. I think that they've done a pretty good job with it. My only issue is too many spots for me. I must have like an element of triophobia, which is like a fear of like too many spots all in the same place. I get that a little bit when I sometimes look at the ostrich bags too. And look, so that's for me, I guess it's just a weird thing about me, isn't it? So, but it is a fab bag. I can absolutely understand why people would be vying to get these gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. That's only scratching the surface of some of the amazing blue box bags that Hermes does, and perhaps I will follow up at some stage with another chat about a few others. I would love to talk about the cargo Birkin. I would love to get a cargo Birkin, but I believe that they're in a huge demand at the moment. They've had a huge surge. They've done cargos in the Pickertons and all that lately to try and alleviate some of the demand that is coming through for these cargo styles. So let me know if you do want to hear a little bit more about some other blue box bags or the other blue box items in general, and a little bit of an update on how things are going in my Hermes journey. So I have been waiting it out for another quota bag. The update is that I did receive a message from my sales assistant, and I did go into the store. He has offered me another bag, but I have regretfully had to decline that bag. Now, this isn't the first time I've declined a bag. I haven't spoken about it in the past before, and perhaps I will do a vlog about some of those experiences that I've had with declining a bag and how to go forward from there. And so at this stage, it's really just waiting and hoping that things do come through in the future, and having faith in the system, like I did say. But if you are looking into the Hermes Blue Box items, which bag would you choose? Which one would you want? Let me know. For me, at this point in time, it would be the picnic or it would be a cargo. What would it be for you? Let me know in the comments, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.